pill mills that have been shut down in the state of Ohio. I guess probably more people under investigation. I don't know the legal mumbo-jumbo of all this, but we're serious about it. We don't believe in it. We're not going to put up with it. So that was the first thing that we did. And then this House Bill 93, which was written by some really good people in the legislature, Burke and Bupp and Terry Johnson. This thing had been languishing. How can you languish something like that? Can you explain that to me? I mean, there's no languishing on that stuff. So we get it through the legislature. Unanimous support for it. It gives us, we think, some power and some tools. And if all of you who are out there in the field have something that you think we could do better, you come a-running. Because you're there. You know what the story is. And if you got an idea, we're open to it. Nothing's off the table. Say, oh, well, they would never do that. Well, don't judge what we would never do. We do a lot of things that people didn't think anybody would ever do. So we were into that, and we did that. And then I told the patrol, I didn't tell them, you don't tell them a lot. You can tell them when you're in, but you tell them too much, then you're out, you never know, you know? No. So we got great support from Colonel Charles and from John Bohr, who's the colonel of the Highway Patrol. And I want to tell you something. They're first-class people. If your sheriffs are not working with them, you find out what's wrong with your sheriffs. They got this long battle, turf battle, it's dumb. Well, let me tell you, they've been going like crazy, this Highway Patrol, and let me tell you a little bit about it. A 500% increase in overall drug seizures from 2010 and 2011. A 500% increase in grabbing that poison. Listen to this, between January and March of 2012, now this 500% increase in seizures was 10 to 11. In 12, the patrol has seized 60% more heroin and 41% prescription narcotics than it did the same period last year. And you know, I was with them one day. I said, why don't we put some signs up? You know, like, what do you mean? I said, put some signs up. When the people come into Ohio, just have a big sign. If we catch you dealing drugs, you're going to jail. As big a sign as you can find. And they kind of chuckled about it. But you know, I think things are pretty simple in life. So you put these signs up. You're going to go to jail. And signs up saying if you see something suspicious, you text or you phone call. You know what they tell me? You cannot believe the number of text messages and the number of phone calls that they get every day from people on the highways who observe people trying to poison our kids and our population. And it's working. And this patrol's done a great job. I went to one of their training sessions. You know, you never notice when you see them parked in between the lanes there, the north and the southbound, you think they're out there trying to figure out how fast you're going? That's not what they're doing. That is not what they're doing. I said this before and somebody in the press distorted it. That's part of the game. But here's what I mean by that. I mean, if you're going 100 miles an hour, they're going to pull you over. But you know what they're doing? They're looking for stuff. They have learned and trained to figure out those suspicious vehicles that are transporting this poison across this state. And they're looking every day. If the car's too clean or if the car's too dirty. I mean, they've got ways to think about it. The way that people look when they're in that crossover, the way people look at them. And they train all the time and they celebrate those members of the patrol who catch these folks. And there have been some incredible busts in this state. What I think is beginning to happen, at least Colonel Board confirmed this on Friday, is we're a major artery for the flow of all these drugs. But as a result of the patrol's interdiction, the working with, I guess, the FBI and local police and the sheriff and everybody else, we're beginning to see the arteries shift out of our state. Now, I think that's not great news for some other state, but I was with the governor of Kentucky last week, and we're getting them all. Colonel, you're going down there to see the patrol, the FBI, the local police, the sheriff, because this is a regional thing, and this is for America. And I never knew that in our country that we had a tremendous tsunami of poison that's coming at us. I don't know how you've kept it in all these years. I mean, we all knew about it, but didn't quite understand how horrible it is, particularly when employers go to try to hire somebody, and they got 100 people, and they have a hard time finding somebody who's clean. And they all shake their heads. It's an amen, right? It's true, and you've got to stop it. So we're going to work regionally at the same time to bring law enforcement into this.